Well, the Egyptians have a saying about the person who always falls in the river and comes up with a fish in his mouth. And it seems like some people are always healthy while others are dealing with sickness. Some people have a free and easy life and others deal with tragedy and trauma. And so we get the idea that some people just seem to be born on the right side of life while others are on the wrong side of life. And is that God's will, or is it just bad luck? Or is it, as Eric Butterworth puts it, simply negative thinking? In John 21, there's a kind of a living parable, and this story is about the disciples who, by the way, were mostly fishermen, and they're out on the Sea of Galilee fishing one night and they don't catch any fish at all. So they come back the next morning, and as they come onto shore, they come across Jesus and they tell him the story. We've been there the whole night, we didn't catch any fish at all. And he makes a suggestion. He says, "Go out again, cast the net on the right side of the boat." And they think, well, this guy's a carpenter and he's telling us how to fish. But they figure, well, we'll give it a go, and out they go, and they cast their net on the right side of the boat, and they get so many fish that they can hardly haul them back onto the boat. So the wrong side of life can be expressed by us in our negative thinking, but we have the power to turn a negative thought into a positive one, and that's through awareness, and then we make a choice to change it. We can turn a thought of lack into a thought of abundance. We can let go of failure by replacing that with thoughts of success. And if we have ideas of sickness, we can convert them into ideas of healing and wholeness. And so when we're in a negative state of mind, we're really on the wrong side of life. When we get ourselves onto the right side of life, we find that we get ourselves into the flow. Many of you here will know the story of Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, and how she was diagnosed with tuberculosis, and she was given 6 months to live. This was a condition that ran in her family, and she just happened to go to a lecture at that time and heard the words, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." Now, she could have easily gone with her diagnosis, prepared herself for that 6 months, and easily given up, but instead, she decided to cast the net on the right side. She got herself into the flow of healing, and she went on to live 45 years beyond that 6-month diagnosis. So we are children of the universe, and we must claim it like she did. She had to claim her wholeness. She had to know within herself that she was entitled to wholeness, and she had to get herself into the flow. And sometimes we have to do the same, especially when we see that we're on the wrong side of life. You know, we are children of the universe. Our inheritance is ours, no matter if there's a family trait that's been passed down. We're always in the creative flow, and we're always creating. So let's create what it is that we want in life. And so how do we experience healing? Well, there are 3 ways. We experience it through the physical body, and Butterworth refers to the super wisdom of the physical body. He gives an example that if you cut your finger, straight away your finger tries to heal itself. It pulls itself back to perfection. There's spiritual healing, which we do on Wednesday mornings in our prayer and healing circle. We do spiritual treatments. There's other ways that we can give ourselves a spiritual treatment, and that's through moving energy. We speak spiritual words. A lot of people use their prayer time to spiritualize their thoughts and heal themselves that way. And then there's emotional healing. And that requires us to work on our emotions, letting go of fear or worry, releasing blocks, and just knowing that we can be healed because in truth we are whole. So sometimes we might catch ourselves fishing on the wrong side of life. We might hold limiting thoughts or engage in negative ideas, but we can always correct that by fishing on the right side of life. Eric Butterworth says, you can never be cut off from the stream of life. He says the only disease is congestion, because congestion restricts the natural flow of healing. And Jesus used another word for congestion. He called it resistance. And I think today in our society we use this word stress, which is really another word for congestion. So whatever you call it, congestion, resistance, or stress, if you're worried about your finances, or you think you're going to lose your job, or you're emotionally upset, or you're afraid about something, etc., we know all the things that can put us on the wrong side of life. These are barriers for us to getting in the flow. And so today we're going to just say a few affirmations, and I invite you to repeat these after me. Please say, I am free of congestion. I am free of resistance. I am free of stress. I'm free of strain. I'm unhurried. I'm unworried. I go forward in the flow of life. Our first step is always to get in the flow. Life is whole, and it can never be less than whole. Remember, the fish are always there, but you have to cast your net on the right side. And if someone comes up and says, how are you? You're going to say, I am in the flow. What are you going to say? I am in the flow. And so it is. Thank you.